Okay, I think this is it. Skincare video people have been asking for. Okay. I made some coconut kefir. Got my cup of tea. I'm looking out at the rice fields and I'm going to share my skincare routine with you. To do that, first of all, I want to share a little bit of my skincare journey because I live a very quite natural, as organic as I can, lifestyle, but I've had quite the journey with my skin, and therefore before I can get to the products that I use, I want to explain what has happened along the way. So at 21, I remember making a very clear lifestyle change, complete overhaul. I changed my diet, I changed my life, I changed my job, and I changed a lot of habits that I had. And I remember that I was kind of edging into this a little bit at 19 and definitely at 20. I remember at 20, I discovered animal testing. And discovering animal testing, I was heartbroken over that, and it really led me to questioning why these products would even need to be tested on animals in the first place, which led me to eventually seeing all of the harmful chemicals and very questionable chemicals and toxins that are used in our products, which then led me to what is being sprayed on our food, what am I putting in my body, and eventually led to my big change in lifestyle. At 20, I had already started overhauling. Basically, I was just getting out anything that was tested on animals, but through getting that out, I realized that I was actually removing a lot of chemicals from my home, which then started all the research into chemicals and toxins, and that led me naturally into using more natural products, because it's the natural products that weren't tested on animals, whereas all these things filled with chemicals and all these words that I couldn't pronounce were the ones that were being tested. So it was a very clear thing that started to happen. And anyway, led me to 21, when I was actually healing an autoimmune disease after not having the greatest experience through traditional Western medicine. I decided to heal this illness naturally, and that led me into being very mindful and actually very strict about everything I was putting in my body and on my body. So I started to use very clean, natural, organic products. I was eating about 90% organic food. I was eating predominantly I was eating a vegan diet, very high alkaline, and clean, pure water. I was doing all of these things to help heal my body. And I was really passionate about it as well. It became something that I just really loved. I started using the coconut oil, and I'm oil cleansing, and I'm using all the organic, beautiful, natural oils and products on my skin. And from the age of 21, 22, 23, maybe even into 24, I had the worst acne of my life. I'd also come off birth control at 20 or 21, I got off birth control pill. And so I was expecting that there would be a little phase of perhaps a detox period. When you're going through such a huge change in your lifestyle and everything that you're using on your body, and with hormones, there is a detox phase that can happen. But I had expected that this would clear up and get better. And for me, my skin was just getting worse, more inflamed, and it wasn't getting any better. And I felt like I was doing all the right things. I was eating all the right things. I was using really beautiful products, and nothing was actually helping. Eventually, I think I went and I actually went to see a skincare clinic that said they were all natural and organic on their website. And when I arrived there, I realized it wasn't up to my perfect clean standards. Now looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really totally fine. But I went to this clinic, and the doctor looked at my skin, and she was sitting there confirming, you need to do something. and it's going to take a little bit of time, and this is the program I would put you on with your skincare. These are all products, this is all topical treatment. And so I was like, really, I was scared to use some of these things on my skin. Like, there was a couple of ingredients in there that I just wasn't so sure about. I was like, I don't know if I want to use that after cleaning up my lifestyle so much and healing from this autoimmune disease. I didn't want to put anything on my body that was going to cause any potential harm. But it wasn't too bad, and I kind of just made a compromise. I met in the middle, and I said, you know, if I use this for 3 months and this clears up, will I be able to go back to using these organic products? And she was like, yeah, you should be able to do that. So I used these products for a couple of months, and my skin definitely did start to clear up. It was better than it was, and I was getting some treatments there as well, some of these enzyme therapies that were helping my skin. And I think that really helped knock some of it over. And then I kind of just went back into using some organic products, and I was using, and a brand I actually really love is by Therese Kerr called Divine Woman, and it's still a cleanser that I love to this day, one of their cleansers there. I went into using that, and that was working really well for me, and eventually I ended up just using a cleanser and nothing else on my skin. So fast forward to 2016, going to Peru. My skin, I definitely don't have acne at this point anymore. My skin is pretty clear, not amazing, not the way that it looks today either, and not, it was definitely still prone to breakouts, and I did not have perfect skin, but I couldn't really complain because the acne that I once had wasn't there. But I still really struggled with my skin, you know. I never just had days where there wasn't a breakout. It was like rare when I'd wake up and I would look in the mirror and my skin would be perfect. I don't really remember having many of those days, but I remember being grateful that it was better. And so I went to Peru, and I went down what I call Project Liberation. This was about really letting go of a lot of my limitations and restrictions and all of the ideas I had around food and everything that I had really been doing. And I ate gluten for the first time in a long time. I drank alcohol for the first time in 4 years. I ate cheese for the first time after years of being vegan. Like, I just didn't have any really strong restrictions. I just let myself have this experience in the Andes, and my skin was amazing in Peru. The dry climate was just like gold for my skin. I never apply moisturizer. I wasn't applying any moisturizer. All my friends are like, it's so dry here, they're like lathering moisturizer. I'm like, my skin is just loving this dry climate. And it was so clear. And then when I got back to Australia, it almost immediately broke out. And I was like, okay, so I just ate all of the things that I don't usually eat. I drank alcohol, I ate cheese, I had gluten. I had like some weird sugary things, I'm sure, in the time that I was there. I wasn't so strict. And my skin was amazing, yet here I was back in Australia, back to pretty much a vegan diet and doing the things I'd always done, gluten-free, and my skin started breaking out. And I was just like, okay, my skin actually needs some topical support. I feel like my skin is really reacting to environments, and it's humid in Australia. It was very dry in the Andes. So I realized that I actually really needed some topical support, and that I'd been doing everything that I really could for the inside of my body for such a long time. And the missing piece for me was topical treatment, and something, I was using things that were maintaining my skin for what it was, but not really improving it or helping it a whole lot. I think at that point I just kept using, I love Divine Woman by Therese Kerr. Those products were really great for me, the cleanser. And I don't know what else I really started using at that time. I just stuck to like cleansing really with that, and finding a few different cleansers that I'd rotate with every 6 or 12 months. And it was really, my skincare game changed in 2019. So in 2018, I went to live in Peru, where I could pretty much just use water on my skin. I had a point in time where I just ran out of all the products that I had, and all I was using was water, and my skin was fine. Got back to Australia after living there and really needed some help with my skin. It started to break out again, it wasn't so great. And my friend recommended me to go and see someone who she'd been seeing, and this woman was great and gave me 2 products to try and basically let me choose whatever cleanser I wanted to use. And so this is how I've got to this point in time, because me 9 years ago honestly would not use the products that are sitting in front of me today. They are not organic, they are not 100% clean and pure, but they are, I've had to compromise. They're something that really works for my skin, and I've been using them for the last year and a half. Yes, it's my ideal to use certified organic, of course, but I really tried that for many years and it wasn't working for my skin. Oils don't work for my skin. I hope that someday they will and they can, but this is what I've come to. All I really use is 3 products plus a sunscreen. So I really, my essentials are 4 products, and I never used to use sunscreen. 2019, how old was I? 29? 28 was the year I started using sunscreen. And sunscreen, I'm very, yes, has to be a natural sunscreen. I will not use a chemical sunscreen on my face. I didn't use sunscreen for so many years. 1, because it made me break out. 2, because they actually have really harmful cancer-causing chemicals in them that I just don't want to be putting on my skin. It's really counterintuitive. So, and I do like to have a little bit of unprotected sun time in the day, because I really do want to receive some goodness from the sun. But yes, I do use sunscreen on my face now. And I'm still finding the perfect sunscreen, but I've got some that I have really liked. So here we go. My cleanser I change out every 6 to 12 months, but what I'm using right now and have been using for the last maybe almost 12 months is the Paula's Choice Clear Pore Normalizing Cleanser. So this is what I use to cleanse my skin. Now I double cleanse morning and night, especially at night, because I'm taking off the sunscreen. So that first cleanse is to get the sunscreen off my skin. And the second cleanse is to allow the product to actually like lather and work on my skin and treat my skin. Once I've done that, I use the Paula's Choice 2% BHA gel. I use this one morning and night. And then in the mornings after I put that on, I'll apply my sunscreen. And then the only other product, and only at night, is my vitamin A cream, which is prescribed by my skincare lady in Australia. So this one is tretinoin vitamin A with hyaluronic acid and vitamin E cream. And that's it. There are things in here that I would have been like, 9 years ago, even 5 years ago, would have been like, I don't know. And it still was a bit of a, you know, I had to really accept that I had really been doing everything that I could from the inside out. And I had been really, I've done a lot of research, and I really tried to use the most organic, natural products I could, but I had to loosen the reins a little bit and find a way to use the cleanest products I could find, but within what was actually going to work for my skin. And this is what I've come to. And honestly, these 2 products have absolutely changed my skin, the vitamin A and the BHA serum. And then my cleansers I can rotate between. So that's it. That's what I'm using now. That's what has changed my skin. And I guess I want to share this and just be really honest, because I have lived such a natural lifestyle, and I've had I don't have the blog anymore, but I've had blogs about promoting all of this, and I did have to come to a place where my skincare, unfortunately, is not a certified organic skincare regime. I would love for it to be, but that has been really tried by me and just not worked for me. I really struggle to use oils on my skin. I can't use any products that have oils. Like I said, hopefully someday I can. But it's just not what my skin has agreed with. And trust me, I've given it a really good go. I really didn't want to have to use anything that had a questionable chemical in the product. But it's been a 9-year journey, 9 years. And this is what I've landed on. And it's really improved my skin, and also learning to just be a little bit more relaxed. A couple of other things that have really helped is vitamin C and zinc. So they're just some supplements that I take, more so for my immunity and my health, but I feel like they really contribute to healthy glowing skin as well. So vitamin C and zinc. I drink a lot of water. I drink pure water. I drink the best water I can possibly find within what's available to me in whatever environment I'm in. Traveling, that is not always the easiest thing, but I never drink tap water. So, to recap, look after the inside, and of course be super mindful about what you're using on the outside. And if you can use beautiful certified organic products on your skin and that allows your skin to glow and radiate, do it. But if you're someone like me who has been really trying with that and nothing is really working or helping, and you've given it a good go, like I tried to wait it out for a few years to let hormones balance out and all of that sort of thing, and this is what I had to come to, and to not be hard on myself for that. And like I said, you know, Kristen 9 years ago maybe wouldn't be so thrilled about this, but these days, honestly, I'm pretty relaxed about it. And the wonderful thing is these products are not tested on animals either. I don't know whether to mention the spell I cast on my skin. I told my friend a while ago, she was like, what do you use on your skin? And I told her, and then like months later I was like, you know, I also cast this spell quite a few years ago about my skin with a friend of mine, and I feel like that's actually worked. And she's like, why are you waiting until now to tell me this? But yeah, I did, and it worked. So if you have some questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments. And if I need to do a further Q&A on this, I will. And much love. There is my skincare journey.